You've seen it everywhere, right? From K-pop to K-beauty, the Korean wave is a global force. But have you ever stopped to think about what happens behind the scenes? Behind every serum shipped to Stockholm or t-shirt to Texas, there's this hidden network that makes it all click. Today, we're diving deep into that network, the very artery of global K-commerce. So, K-commerce. It's not just some buzzword. It's a massive economic engine. We're talking about this incredible explosion in online shopping for literally everything Korean. It's all fueled by a cultural movement that turns fans all over the world into loyal customers. But that brings up a really interesting question. How does it actually work? It sounds so simple, you know? You click, you buy. But how does a small independent brand in Seoul actually get their product into the hands of a fan, say, in Paris? The mechanics of it are way more complex than you'd think. Well, for any brand that wants to go global, it turns out they have to solve two very different but equally huge challenges. It's kind of like having to master two completely different games at the exact same time to win the prize. The challenge really splits into two main parts. On one side, you have the stuff you can see, the storefront. That's building websites in different languages, sorting out global shipping, running marketing that actually works in other countries. But then there's the other side. The invisible and, frankly, much harder part, getting paid. This is all about trust, right? Offering payment methods people recognize and feel safe with, and of course, managing the risk of fraud. So for that first challenge, building the store, the go-to solution is Cafe24. You can think of it as the ultimate toolkit for sellers. It's a one-stop shop where a business can build a beautiful multi-language store for free with just a couple of clicks. It handles everything: products, inventory, shipping, the whole shebang. Now, for that second, trickier challenge of getting paid, we have 엑심베이. This is the specialist that just completely solves the payment problem. So if a customer in China wants to use Alipay, or maybe a customer in Japan wants to pay at a local convenience store, that's a method called konbini, 엑심베이 makes it happen seamlessly. It bundles all these different options into one simple contract and even handles all the fraud detection. Okay, so you have the perfect store builder over here and the perfect payment gateway over there. The real magic, the innovation that truly forged this main artery for K-commerce happened when these two powerhouses decided to join forces. Before this partnership, you have to understand the process was an absolute nightmare for small businesses. I mean, imagine you're a designer, a creator, not a developer or a lawyer. You are forced to navigate this insane maze of international contracts and complex code. It was just brutal. And the pain was very, very real. Sellers had to find and sign separate contracts with all these different overseas payment companies. Each one had its own review process that could drag on for months. Then you'd have to hire expensive developers to try and stitch it all together, usually while fighting through language barriers. It was a massive wall blocking small businesses from going global. But the new way? Wow, it completely flipped the script. It took that confusing, terrible maze and turned it into something as easy and intuitive as, well, downloading an app from an app store. That whole complicated, painful process we just talked about, it's now this. 2 steps, you go into your Cafe24 admin page, you install the 엑심베이 app, and that's it. That is literally it. You are now ready to accept payments from pretty much anywhere in the world. And the impact of this is just staggering. A process that used to take months of paperwork and coding can now be completed in just a few days. The difference is just night and day. So, we've talked about the how, but let's get to the so what, right? What does this breakthrough actually mean for those Korean entrepreneurs, the creators, the small brands trying to make their mark on the world? Well, the biggest result is that the doors to global e-commerce have been kicked wide open. It's no longer a game just for the huge corporations. Now, one-person businesses, small indie brands, independent creators, they can all compete on a global stage. Access has been totally and completely democratized. And the results really do speak for themselves. This partnership saves sellers a massive amount of time and money, obviously, but just as important, by offering payment options that international customers know and trust, it builds that confidence. And that directly leads to fewer people leaving their shopping carts behind, which You guessed it, boosts sales. And really, here's the bottom line. The most crucial point of all is that sellers are finally freed from having to be experts in the technical plumbing of global finance. They can get back to focusing on what they actually love, what they're good at, designing amazing products and building their brand. Now, this whole system isn't just sitting still. It's a living, breathing thing, and it's evolving to become even more powerful, even more intelligent, to meet the future of commerce right where it's headed. If you look at the journey, it started back in 2019, really focused on solving specific payment needs for the Japanese market. From there, it grew into the seamless app-based system we see today. In the future, it's all about using AI and data to create a commerce experience that's truly intelligent and happens in real time. First up, payments are getting a whole lot smarter. Imagine an AI that can analyze data to automatically show every single customer the exact payment method they are most likely to trust and use. This is about optimizing every sale without the seller having to lift a finger. The system is also pushing into new frontiers. It's targeting the world's fastest-growing e-commerce hotspots, like Southeast Asia and Latin America. And that means integrating all the popular local e-wallets and offering things like buy now, pay later options, which are just exploding in popularity. And this is a big one. This infrastructure is being built for the wild world of live commerce. Think about it. A creator is selling products live on a YouTube or TikTok stream. The checkout has to be instant. It has to be frictionless, so a fan anywhere on Earth can buy something right in that moment of excitement. Which really brings us back to the big picture. This collaboration between Cafe24 and 엑심베이, it's so much more than just a business deal. It has truly become the core infrastructure for K-commerce. It's the highway that tens of thousands of Korean brands are traveling on to reach the entire world. And that leaves us with a fascinating final question to think about. When the technology makes it this easy to sell anything to anyone, anywhere in the world, when all those technical barriers just vanish, what is it that will truly make a brand stand out from the noise?